The following podcast is an enticing media production.
Where the Nell have you been? Join us for conversation about life, business, and everything in between. Welcome to What the Nell, where we've got stories to tell. Here's your host, Nell Tice.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another brand new episode of the What the Nell podcast, the Ecopreneur's Edge edition, with my co-host for this series, Mikee Bentz. You might know Mikee from his competition championship winning, award-winning pole dancing, and also award-winning salon in Harrisburg and central Pennsylvania, well known for being an all-around amazing human. Welcome, Mikee, to this first episode of our series.
Thank you so much, Nell. It's amazing to be here with you. I'm so excited. Thank you for the introduction. For those who don't know me or might not know me yet, I am Mikee with two E's. I'm also known as Metro Mikee on all social media platforms. The two E's in my name stand for something that makes me so happy to be here at the Ecopreneur's Edge. We'll add two new E's to that. But the two E's in my name stand for the environment and everyone. Those are the two things that I have always cared about the most. A little bit of background on that. I got into adult life and my career pretty early on by joining beauty school, and before I had done that, I had found a little bit of research that was talking about the food that we were ingesting. So I was a young adult. My spouse and I had just moved in together, and we were trying to find ways to cut costs and save money and put myself through school and work full time, and we started doing a deep dive into kind of the food that we were buying and eating and what we were putting into our bodies. And this kind of led me down this whole path of things that are going on that a lot of people weren't aware of when it comes to what we put in and on our bodies. So that was a great transition into beauty school, because it led me right into products that I used in my salon that are non-toxic, safe to put on our hair and scalp, our skincare products, and then that kind of led into my salon ownership, my branding with the two E's, and I actually am still currently the organizer of an organization called March Against Monsanto, Harrisburg. I was the chapter organizer for that for 8 years. I hosted rallies at the Capitol. I ran the Facebook page. It kind of fizzled out. The last rally I had, there were 3 people. It was myself, one other gentleman, and his 3-year-old daughter. Oh. And I was like, well, we don't have to take our time out when we can, find time out of our day when we can find effort and energy in other places. So that's kind of what we did. And that led into, long story short, working in my business, working on educating my clients and consumers, to then open a second business, Metropolis Aerial Art Studio, which is an eco-friendly aerial art studio right here in the heart of downtown Harrisburg. It's about a half a block away from the Capitol, and we have been going there. And I always forget to tell everyone, the Aerial Art Studio is so cool as an eco-friendly business because it was an upfront investment to, lease the building, to get the renovations done, and to buy the equipment. But since then, it kind of runs itself in the form of, I only have to buy cleaning supplies, which most of those are eco-friendly.
Great.
So
awesome.
There's not a lot of waste produced. Because once I buy the aerial hula hoop, or the pole, it's there, so it's not something that generates a lot of waste or byproduct. So I feel really confident in saying that that's an eco-friendly business as well. So I have been in the salon industry for 14 years, a salon owner for 11 years, the March Against Monsanto organizer for I think 9 years now, and I've been an eco-friendly aerial art studio owner for going on 3 years. So I feel very compelled to share what I know, and I feel very qualified to be the one leading this conversation.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Yes, obviously you are an expert in all of those areas, and the passion behind, the environment, everyone, the eco-friendliness, and is really what, led us into this series. And I think that we ended up realizing that we had more in common than not in common. And I kind of have a similar story. It's cool, quote, now to be organic and all environmentally friendly, but I'm really passionate about holding those accountable that say they truly are concerned about what they're putting in their bodies, what they're using in their household cleaning items. I mean, most people don't even realize that what you're spraying to clean your stovetop is incredibly toxic. And, those people that say they really are wanting to lead this charge themselves, I'm really passionate about holding them accountable. And I know life is all about harmony, and we do what we can. And there are going to be areas in our lives where we have to make sacrifices to be able to do what we have to do. But it really truly is a passion of mine. I started I was probably 19 when I first moved out of my parents' home. And it was very difficult. I was working in a restaurant. I was in college. It was very difficult for me to afford organic groceries and foods that I thought were healthy for me. And it became a passion of mine to seek them out and go to the natural markets and read ingredients and learn about these things. And so I like to say I was doing it before it was cool. And, I think that us being business owners and having that shared passion is a really, really cool thing, and a way to reach those that care about what we're talking about with the Ecopreneur's Edge, which I didn't even realize. Two more E's. I mean, how serendipitous is that?
I always say that it's meant to be when I find an extra 2 E's.
Oh my gosh, it's meant to be when you find an extra 2 E's. I love that. You should probably write a book and title it that.
That, and I'll need my shirts, my merchandise to sell as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you think some of our goals are with doing this series for the listeners? How can we bring value, and how can we help them?
So I'm always a little torn on who I want to help, even though I want to help, everyone, because it's part of my 2 E's.
Right.
But I tends to get caught in, do we help the beginners get started? Or do we help the people who are already, kind of midway or there elevate what they're already doing? So I would love to tackle both of those things and do like some introductions to terms and products and ingredients. And then I would also love to really deep dive into something like maybe called the climate shadow, which is how all of our interactions from the start of our day to the end of our day, from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, and throughout our entire life affects every aspect of our impact on the planet. A lot of people talk about carbon footprint, but there's a lot more that goes into how we impact our environment than just our daily commute.
Oh my gosh, yes, absolutely. I mean, right down to, the copy paper that you're using in your printer. And I mean, there are so many small things that add up to how we contribute to the health of our planet. And why do you think the health of our planet and all of this is so important to you? Was there something that maybe happened to you earlier in life that led you to this thought process? Or why is this such a passion for you?
So I have always been a bit of a social activist. And I have been aware between my own research and then being a valued member of my community as a hairdresser. I get to hear a lot of different perspectives from a lot of different industries, a lot of different geopolitical, socioeconomical backgrounds. I get to hear, what triggers my clients and community members, and I get to hear what puts them at peace. So with all of that, I have had an emotional roller coaster that has led me to an inner sense of peace and calm, knowing that if I don't have an environment, if there's no earth to live on, I can't fight for human rights. I can't fight for government policy. I can't fight for infrastructure upgrades. I can't fight for any of that because I won't even have a place to live. That's why the first D in my name is always going to be the environment, because it reminds me exactly what I'm fighting for.
Oh, I love that so much. And it's so true. If we don't have any of this, if we don't take care and protect our environment, then you're right. We have nothing. We have no platforms. We have nothing to stand our ground on to be able to fight for everyone. And why do you think, where did your passion for everyone come from? You know, there's so many different types of people. I mean, we can all take the Enneagram tests and we can take all these personality tests and everything. And there are people that are constantly like, well, I don't do peopling. I don't go out and I don't care about this. And I just care about me and all of these things. Why are you so passionate about everyone?
So let me make this as short as possible. My dance studio is called Metropolis Aerial Art Studio. Metropolis is where Superman resides, and Superman flies through the air all day.
Oh my gosh,
So
I didn't realize that.
I have a little bit of an affinity for, the superhero culture and legacy. And with that, like, my superpower is self-awareness and accountability. And knowing that I am self-aware about how I feel and, what I believe, and then holding myself accountable to do that gives me an incredibly deep sense of empathy. And one of those deep-held beliefs that I'm self-aware of is that I just truly believe that every human on this earth is born good. Sometimes along the way, we might have, a less than positive mentor. We might have a traumatic experience that kind of breaks us away from that goodness. But I believe we can always come back to that inherent internal humanity. And that's why whenever I look at somebody, no matter what their past is, I just know that they have a story to tell. And if I can create space in the ways that I can to have that story be told to me, I love to do that. And if I can inspire the world to hear other people's stories that I might not have time to, that's why the second E is everyone.
Mikee, they just don't make them like you anymore.
I also have a slight affinity with the Illuminati lore. Although I always spell it with 2 E's,
I love that. That's amazing.
So I'm always trying to find these little, like, Taylor Swift Easter eggs in my own life and figure out how I can link it all together in my own Mikee core lore, if you will.
That is so cool. I love it. And it's funny now that you're speaking about this and you're using words like empathy and efficacy and all the, like, I'm picking out the 2 E's. I mean, it really is like a part of you.
It's literally who I am.
Yeah, that's so true. Oh my gosh, I love it. So I'm really excited to talk to you about so many different topics, and I'm going to talk about what people can expect coming up on the series. And if you resonate with anything that we're having to say, the environment, everyone, eco-friendly, anything business, entrepreneur related, I mean, this is the series for you. And we've got things listed out like sustainability in business, reduce, reuse, recycle, eco-friendly business, and finances, and ingredients to avoid, and all of these different topics. I'm so excited to talk about. And one of the bigger topics that I'm really excited to talk about is the products and the ingredients and all of that stuff, because I think as busy entrepreneurs, we all want the best for ourselves, right? We want to make sure that we're constantly taking the best care of ourselves and things like that. But the caveat to that is always, well, I don't have the time. And busy entrepreneurs put that aside because it's business all day, every day. So I'll just eat whatever is available and I'll just do whatever is convenient to save time. And our skin is our largest organ. And I'm really excited to talk to you about products, especially because I think it's so important. And I mean, you would agree, like it's easy. I don't want to say easy, but it's possible to really take the utmost care of yourself and be a busy entrepreneur at the same time. Am I right?
You are right. And my initial lead into this lifestyle was not easy. I feel like everything that makes my life and business more eco-friendly and entrepreneurial and sustainable was such a mountain to climb at first. And once I'm on the other side, then it just fits together in this beautiful tapestry of an eco-friendly, entrepreneurial, sustainable life.
Yeah.
So I never sugarcoat it, and I don't lie. Honesty is one of my favorite qualities. It is an uphill battle. But on the flip side, we are finding ways to be more efficient with our energy, and we are finding ways to grow that weren't there before. So this was a long time ago for me, so sometimes I forget, and I will need reminders during this series now. It is very hard to get started, but that's why we're here, to help guide you along your way and to share the tips and tricks and techniques and nuggets, I think is what we used to say on Clubhouse, to date myself. So we are here for you, and I know that I had a lot of great time and research and a couple mentors. I did find a lot of it by myself. It was like this weird, let me walk through the dark, dreary jungle path, and then it opened up into this beautiful vista, overlooking the waterfall and the rainbow and everything like that. So
Oh my gosh.
we will get there. And then the other goal for this series, because I only touched on one, I'm remembering right now.
Yeah.
I love the eco-friendly side, but I also am an entrepreneur. I am a true diehard. Ask Nell. I am always doing something new.
Oh my gosh. Always, always. And I mean, it's fantastic. I love seeing the growth and all the new paths that you're going down.
But there's something about entrepreneurship that doesn't get talked about a lot, and that's the sustainability side of that. If we don't have a sustainable plan for how we're going to prevent burnout, how we're going to create healthy networking connections and relationships, how we're going to prepare for our future by being a little bit educated about finance and investing and retirement and the stock market. If we don't have all those facets of our entrepreneurial sustainability down, we're going to not have a great work-life balance, and we're just probably going to get fed up and stop our process altogether. So we want to coach you on the eco-friendly side, and we want to share our knowledge and passion about the entrepreneurial side. So that is where our Ecopreneur's edge will come into play.
Yes, we're talking about sustainability in all facets of business and life. And I love seeing all that. And, I feel like this happens with a lot of entrepreneurs. We always are having our hand in the cookie jar in some way or another. And I feel the same way too. There's constantly, I think that sometimes I worry about people being confused by what I'm doing, because we're doing so much that it's really hard to get what you want in front of people at the time that you want it to be there. Because in your mind, you're thinking, oh, this is simple. We do this show this day, we do this day, and this and that, and it's all just kind of mumbled for everyone. So but on the flip side of that, being in the other side, behind the scenes, the sustainability and preventing burnout and taking care of our entrepreneurial health is mind-blowingly important. People don't talk about it enough, and I'm really happy that you're here with me to help do that.
Together we can.
Together we can, absolutely. So, a last question for you. What do you hope to get out of this series? I know myself, because I told everyone I'm self-aware.
So my biggest driving factor is consistency. So doing things like recording a podcast at the same time on a specified date really fills my cup. When I go to work, I have a set schedule. Those are my hours. I fill those hours. My productivity rate is usually between 85 and 115% every week. But those are my hours. At the dance studio, I teach the same classes every week. So I know that my biggest human need, if you will, is consistency. So this is going to help me, by helping you all, which is a really cool, I'm a Libra, so I tend to find the balance in any situation. So usually if I'm showing up, I'm getting something out of it just because that's the type of person I am.
Oh, I love that.
But I would love to position myself because I see a beautiful world in front of us. I see a beautiful future in front of us. I would love to position myself as we're going through a lot of transitionary periods with political situations and ideologies and generational shifts when it comes to the work and business industry and the technology revolution that we're having. I am so excited and I am so positive and I'm so optimistic about all the benefits and opportunities in the future. So I want to position myself now as somebody who kind of knows what they're talking about, presents as a good leader and role model, and can help guide us into this beautiful future that I see.
Beautiful. I love it. All the things. That's amazing. So yeah, I am so excited. I'm hoping to see some change, and I think that will affect me the most, seeing that what we're putting out there and what we're doing is actually affecting people and inspiring change. And that's what I truly overall am hoping to get out of this series. So, well, Mikee, I think that concludes our very first episode, our introductory episode. And I want to thank you for doing this with me and doing this for me and for us and for everyone. So, and the environment, of course. So I definitely expect to hear lots more from Mikee and myself. Mikee, since this is our introductory episode, I want everyone to know where they can find you and connect with you anywhere and everywhere.
Yeah, so first, this has been an absolute honor, and I have been so excited to get this series started and rolling, and now that it is, I'm even more excited to keep it going.
Yay!
But you can always find me on any platform at Metro Mikee. That's Metro Mikee with 2 E's, of course.
Yes.
And a caveat to that is I love communicating with anyone. I love helping guide and one-on-one sessions and mentor and everything, but I am a very busy gentleman, so I don't always respond quickly, but I will always respond.
That's all that matters, my friend. That's it. Awesome. All right, Mikee, thank you so much. And I'm looking forward to recording with you and so much more in the future. And thank you to everyone listening and watching. Remember, we are on YouTube now, so head on over to the channel, What the Nell Podcast. Subscribe to the channel, like the videos, and if you were listening to this on your favorite audio platform, don't forget to leave us a review. That's how we grow here at the What the Nell Podcast. Thanks for joining us on this very first episode of the Ecopreneur's Edge on What the Nell. And as always, I will catch you on the next one.
To learn more about how to tell your story, connect with Nell at enticingmedia.com. That's ENTICEING media.com. Thanks for listening to the What the Nell podcast.